My brother-in-law somehow got a bunch of octopus eggs and asked my sister to inject them into her buttocks, saying it could enhance her buttocks. My sister was eager to firmly lock my brother-in-law's heart with the perky buttocks, but she was afraid of life-threatening risks. So she came to ask me, her younger sister who is a doctor. I kindly warned that the octopus eggs would take root and multiply in the body and endanger life. My sister pretended to agree on the surface, but still couldn't resist my brother-in-law's brainwashing and used it privately. Later, to save her life, I had to remove half of her buttocks. As a result, my brother-in-law divorced my sister with a foreign young girl with a perky buttocks. My sister hated me and came to my room and stabbed me to death. It's all your fault. If you hadn't removed my perky buttocks, how could he have divorced me? When I woke up again, I went back to the time when she asked for my opinion. This time, on the contrary, she begged me and said she didn't want the injection. As a result, I found that my brother-in-law's eyes were full of love when he looked at me. The moment I opened my eyes, the pain of those 18 stabs still faintly remained on my body. I closed my eyes and recalled everything after my death. Mom and my boyfriend Ben broke in. Instead of calling a doctor immediately, they asked my sister to leave quickly. Subsequently, my boyfriend cut my body into 18 pieces one by one, and Mom was responsible for putting the body parts into sulfuric acid water to destroy the corpse. To protect my sister, they even spread rumors that I had run away with an old man and was an unfilial daughter. The words of my mother echoed in my ears. As a younger sister, you should protect your sister. Don't blame Mom for being cruel. It's only your fault for looking like that old woman. I opened my eyes abruptly and let out a cold laugh. In this life, I will not let anyone go. At this time, I heard my sister Mona's words. Nina, does your brother-in-law say that these octopus eggs are really useful? I casually moved away from the octopus eggs that Mona was about to bring to me. They were constantly surging like eyes, which was really disgusting. I didn't speak, didn't participate, and didn't answer. In my previous life, my kind advice was exchanged for being dismembered into 18 pieces. This time, it's good to inject. It's good to enhance the buttocks. I wish her to become a living octopus soon. When Mona saw that I was dull, a strange look flashed in her eyes. She roared, "Stupid thing. What's wrong with you? Don't think you're so awesome just because you're a doctor. What's wrong with asking a question?" Then she picked up a badminton racket and was about to hit me. A look of disgust flashed in my eyes. I quickly dodged and, with a reverse grip on the racket, used my strength to hit Mona hard in the face. A miserable scream resounded through the room. Mona covered her face and stared at me viciously. "You actually dare to hit me? How dare you?" At this time, Mom outside heard the sound and hurried in. Seeing Mona lying on the ground, she was full of distress. "Oh, my dear baby. What's going on?" Then she turned and glared at me. "What's wrong with you as a younger sister? You actually dared to hit your sister. You're rebellious. See if I don't beat you. This unfilial daughter." I put my hands on my hips and watched the scene coldly like a bystander. Mom has always been so partial. When my 5-year-old sister was playing outside, my 3-year-old self had to cook in the kitchen. Whenever my sister got injured, it was always me who got beaten. My sister went to the best noble school, while I was forced to drop out and stay at home to do laundry. If I hadn't exchanged half of my life for the opportunity to study again and become a doctor later, I'm afraid that by now, I would have been sold by her to others for money long ago. Sometimes I really don't understand. Is it just because I look like the grandma she hates? Am I really her biological daughter? Mona and Mom cried even louder. Then Mona pulled her and complained a grieved lie. I just asked my younger sister about the octopus eggs. But she wanted to hit me. As soon as Mom heard this, she was extremely distressed. Pointing at my nose, she roared, "It's simply outrageous. Come here and apologize to your sister." Mona pretended to hold Mom back and said innocently, "Mom, Brother William said that these octopus eggs can enhance the buttocks and help me get pregnant earlier. But I'm a bit afraid of this thing. So I was thinking. I still stood still without moving, wanting to see what Mona really wanted to do, according to her character in my previous life. After I refused her, she would only become even more angry and pull Mom to beat me together instead of complaining to Mom here. Mona said, looking up at me with arrogance on her face. Younger sister. You come and try the effect for me first. What your brother-in-law said about this thing must be useful. I'm doing this for your own good. Look at your figure. After enhancing your buttocks, your boyfriend will definitely be unable to resist you. Sister is doing this for your own good. I sneered, looking at the calculation in her eyes. I realized that she had also been reborn. Too, if she hadn't been reborn, how could this good thing be given to me? After all, my brother-in-law is a buttock fetishist and often flirts around outside. Seeing that I still didn't move, she became even more unhappy. She kept complaining to Mom. Mom, look. She doesn't even listen to me now. Mom pointed at my nose and scolded. If your sister asks you to do it, you do it. Such a good thing can enhance your buttocks. Why don't you try it? I stared at Mona with a half smile. Sister, you should try this good thing yourself. After all, this is something that brother-in-law found specifically for you. For brother-in-law. Don't you try it? The suspicion in Mona's eyes disappeared immediately. Mom, is this thing really okay? At this time, William's voice came from the door. He walked in and pulled Mona into his arms. With a gentle face, he said, Wife, why haven't you injected yet? Didn't you say you love me the most? But, husband, this thing, how could I harm you? Mona? For you. I haven't looked for those girls with perky buttocks. Do you want to give me up? Mona was immediately mesmerized by William's sweet words and lost her mind. After being reborn, she is still as stupid. She still believes William's words and still thinks that these octopus eggs can enhance the buttocks. I feel that if I stay here any longer, I will vomit on the spot. I turned around and was about to leave. But Mona stopped me. You. Don't flirt with your brother-in-law. Your brother-in-law is not someone you can look at. It's simply speechless. This stupid thing. Only you treat him like a treasure. In my previous life, I was under PUA. In this life, it's still the same. I looked at the two of them with a forced smile. You two are a perfect match. Goodbye. At this time, I suddenly saw that William's eyes were full of intense love when he looked at me. I almost vomited. A group of crazy people. Seeing that I wanted to leave, they immediately stopped me again. You must also inject with me. This is your honor. I couldn't hold back anymore and said sarcastically, how dare I take what my brother-in-law gave to my sister? That's my brother-in-law's love for my sister. William withdrew his gaze from me and agreed. What my sister-in-law said is right. That's something I found specifically for you. Mona buried herself in William's arms. Husband, I'll listen to you. You can't fall in love with others anymore. Little fool. I only love you. Me, yuck. I'm guilty for seeing such things. Inject it. I wish you all an early reunion in paradise. A group of scumbags. I turned around and was about to go back to my room to cut off everything. I secretly vowed in my heart that I would never forget the hatred of my previous life. I will make them all get what they deserve one by one. At that moment, I suddenly saw William's wallet drop on the ground. I pretended not to see it and kicked it away. But a photo of me in college fell out. I frowned and picked up this photo. From this angle, it was a candid shot. Suddenly, William's voice came from behind. Nina, what are you doing? I looked at him with disgust on my face and questioned. What does this mean? He touched his full beard, suddenly grabbed my hand, and stared at me with paranoid obsession in his eyes. Nini, I've always loved you. Your sister is just your substitute. Don't worry. When the octopus eggs in her body are cultivated well, I will take them out and give them to you. It can make you more beautiful. I did all this for you. Do you know? Seeing this person spewing nonsense in front of me, I couldn't stand it. I picked up my suitcase and smashed it on his head. Then I kicked him away. Disgusting. Stay away from me. Unexpectedly, William became even more fanatical, covering his injured head. He stared at me. Nina, when I divorce your sister, I will be with you. I love only you. Oh my God, it's really bad luck. This person is actually a masochist. Subconsciously, I took a slipper and stuffed it into his mouth. Finally, the world was quiet. Do you think you are some paranoid and handsome male lead? You still play this substitute literature. You're crazy. Get lost. After saying that, I turned around and left expressionlessly. After being reborn, this family is even crazier. Until after I left, the whole room was filled with shouts and curses. I stayed and thought about what to do next. The hatred of my previous life can't be left like this. Suddenly, a message appeared on my phone. My girlfriend. I haven't seen you for a long time. Looking at this message, I sneered. I almost forgot about this jerk. In my previous life, it was clearly my boyfriend, who slept in the same bed with my sister. But in the end, to maintain my sister's reputation, I could only endure my sister and him having an affair in my apartment every night. Now thinking about it, in my previous life, to put it nicely, I was a sister controller. To put it harshly, I was an idiot. I was thinking that William has a violent temper. If he knows that my stupid boyfriend is with my sister, then, while I was preparing things for transferring my household registration, I asked someone to follow my jerk boyfriend. Isn't it good for catching them in the act? And next day, my sister deliberately walked in front of me, looking unable to stop herself and showing off her perky buttocks. I smiled. It's really perky. My brother-in-law must love you to death. When these octopus eggs are injected, they will take root in the muscle position. At first, it does look perky and elastic. But later, it will corrode the whole body. Mona didn't hear the sarcasm in my words. Instead, she became even more proud and looked at me with disdain. The things Brother William gave are of course the best. If it weren't for your blind advice at the beginning, he wouldn't. After saying that, she seemed to realize something and a fierce look flashed in her eyes. I was really speechless. After being reborn, why is her brain still so stupid? To show off her perky buttocks to me and prove that I was wrong, she showed off her love with her brother-in-law in front of me for several days. Even in front of me, she smeared the disgusting octopus eggs on her chest with a look of pleasure. My chest will definitely grow to a D-cup. Brother William will definitely be unable to resist me. I was like a spectator, waiting for her to suffer the consequences. At the same time, I secretly took the household registration book and transferred my household registration. I calculated the time. In the middle of the night, a sharp explosion came from the kitchen. That was my mother's voice. Through the crack of the door, I saw my mother, Summer, fall to the ground. In front of her, my sister was greedily eating raw meat. Mom, I'm hungry. I want to eat meat. My sister's mouth was full of blood. With a big grin. Her mouth was full of blood. Mom was already too scared to move. Mona, what's on your buttocks and chest? Why is it wriggling? My sister was completely obsessed. Mom, don't be afraid. Brother William told me that this is temporary, and it will be fine soon. Mom, I'm so hungry. Then, there was a grinding sound of eating raw meat. I closed the door immediately and sneered. It seems that those eggs are reproducing very quickly. The next day, Mona returned to her graceful appearance. I looked at her and found that her buttocks were getting bigger and bigger, and so were her breasts. It seemed that they would burst in the next second. As for my mother, her hand was wrapped in gauze. Probably, she was bitten pretty badly yesterday. When my mother saw me, she wanted to lose her temper at me again. But in the next second, I took out a knife from my pocket and said casually, "The director praised me for my accurate knife skills, and that I can make people die without anyone knowing." As soon as my mother heard this, her face instantly turned pale and she didn't dare to say anything more. As for Mona, she looked at me suspiciously, and then left swaying left and right in her 10-centimeter high heels. At the moment she went out, I followed her. I came to the apartment next to the one where my boyfriend Ben and I used to live. No one knows that I have bought the whole building, and it is all covered with surveillance cameras. Next, there will be a good show. For through the surveillance camera, I saw my sister, who was wriggling her waist, rush into the room impatiently, hug Ben, and look shy. "RN, I haven't seen you for a long time. I really miss you." Ben opened his eyes wide and stared at her perky buttocks without blinking, answering with saliva dripping. "What a perky butt." My sister looked shy and happily agreed. "You are my brother-in-law. Aren't you afraid that my younger sister will be angry?" Ben spat on the ground. "She's like a dead fish. How can she compare to you, sister?" Then, I saw the two people in the camera being passionately involved, and I felt a wave of nausea. I said, "You two, am I a part of your game?" But according to my good sister's character, she wants to snatch everything I have. Even after being reborn, she is still that disgusting. I smiled and calculated the time. It has been several minutes since I anonymously sent the address to my brother-in-law. The main characters should be on stage soon. I really look forward to the scene of the slutty man and the bitch tearing each other apart. Thinking about it is really extremely anticipated. Suddenly, the two people intertwined on the bed suddenly stopped. Sister Mona immediately pushed away Ben, who was still in a daze, and stared fixedly in the direction of my camera. "Don't you think someone is watching me?" She suddenly said this. I smiled. After being reborn, she is a lot more vigilant. But Ben was still flirting on his own. "Don't think too much. Where is there anyone?" Mona seemed to still feel very strange. She immediately pushed Ben away, and hurriedly put on her clothes. I still feel something is wrong. I folded my arms and watched her being so vigilant with great interest. It was really interesting, looking down at the other surveillance camera. I laughed even louder. Mona pushed the door open in a hurry. But Ben was still pestering her. "Sister, come again? Don't you love me anymore?" The door was kicked open all of a sudden. I watched William kick the door open furiously and roared, "You bitch. You actually cheated on me." I cut a watermelon for myself, and continued to watch the show. According to my brother-in-law's nature, he has violent temper, paranoia, possessiveness, countless bad qualities. For someone like him, he only allows himself to cheat, but can't tolerate being cheated on. I drank a cup of cola. Now, my sister is in a terrible situation. I murmured in my heart. Should I go down and stimulate my good sister even more? In the next second, I heard Ben's heart-nicking painful cry coming from the stairwell. I stood at a distance and watched William kick Ben in the lower body. Then, turning around, he grabbed Mona's hair with one hand and roared viciously, "Come home with me." Looking at Mona being dragged on the ground by William, I just thought she deserved it. Suddenly, Mona looked up and stared at me directly. "Nina, it's you. You did this to me. I'll kill you." I immediately started acting. I looked at Mona and Ben with pain in my eyes and raised my hand. Then, "You actually, with my sister." Then, seemingly in a rage, I randomly picked up a baseball bat nearby and hit Ben with it. Ben immediately foamed at the mouth and passed out. Mona widened her eyes and her resentment grew even stronger. "Are you also reborn? You did this on purpose. Nina, I'll kill you." As she said that, she wanted to beat me. I pretended to be afraid and kicked her again and again as she rushed over. I was still acting. "No. I'm scared. I'm scared." As a result, with one forceful kick, Mona was kicked to the trash can and got stuck on the trash can, couldn't get out. Nina. You deserve to die. She was still not quiet even when stuck in the trash can. William looked at me and then at Mona. He dragged Mona into the car mercilessly. You bitch. You dare to cheat on me in front of me. If I don't kill you. I'm not William. After William finished speaking, he still looked at me with a righteous look. Nini. Don't worry. I will take good care of your sister. I almost vomited. Unable to hold back. I threw the baseball bat in my hand and it hit William on the head, leaving blood. And this sentence seemed to stimulate Mona. You bitch. You actually dared to seduce your brother-in-law. Me. Seriously sick. After saying that, I saw William slap Mona in the face. Shut up. Then he looked at me with a determined look. Nini. You are destined to belong to only me. Me. Damn. This is so stupid. I turned around and left gracefully. Staying for one more second is bad luck. Next time I meet them, I'll use something made of steel. The baseball bat is still a bit too light. As for what happens next, Ben was sent to the hospital by passers-by. Because of family scandals should not be made public, he didn't call the police. However, I thought that my blow probably made him unable to have sex for the rest of his life. Also, as long as he sleeps with someone else, he will be completely paralyzed. Thinking about it, I'm really happy. I ate an extra bowl of dinner. My sister was scared by William, and suddenly came to her senses and decided to divorce William. But as I thought, William will definitely not let go. So, when I was handling the resignation procedures, my sister suddenly ran to the hospital where I was and knelt in front of me with a thud. She cried so pitifully. My good sister. Please save me. I don't want this perky buttocks anymore. I want to divorce William. He is a devil. A devil. I sat calmly on the sofa. Aren't you fine now? Thirdiskis deeplus perky buttocks. Isn't this your favorite? I sneered coldly. As soon as my sister heard this, she was a bit stunned. You weren't like this before? I chuckled, as if she realized something. Her pupils were shocked. Are you also reborn? Did you intentionally want me to inject it? I just smiled and opened my eyes innocently. Sister. Are you possessed? What nonsense are you talking? My sister shook her head on her own. Yes. You can't be reborn. I am the chosen one. Me. Seriously sick. In an instant, my hand was grabbed by her. My good sister. You must be able to perform surgery on me. I trust you. I shook her off. Sorry. I resigned due to a hand injury. Sister. Find someone else. How could she think that octopus eggs are harmful? But in fact, she just forced me to promise her to provide a protective environment. After all, in the hospital, William wouldn't dare to act rashly. Seeing that I was unyielding, she finally became anxious and started wailing loudly, trying to attract more people. I am your biological sister. You must save me. Then, without asking for my opinion, she pulled me and prepared to find the dean to handle the admission. Am I so easy to manipulate? I directly slapped her in the face but gently pinched her chin with a gentle look. Do you think I'm really stupid? My sister's eyes were full of disgust but she forced herself to endure it. I was really interested in her next actions. When pushed to the limit, what else would she do? She with a thick skin. The whole person lies in a large font in the aisle. If you don't agree to my request, I will die here. Me. I thought it would be a big move, but it turned out to be a dud. More and more people gathered and persuaded me. Doctor. Just agree to her. Looking at her. She is also a poor person. I shouted. Do all of you live by the sea? Why do you care so much? Then I poured a basin of water on her from top to bottom. Are you awake? If you are awake, get out of here. Then I ignored her screams and turned around and left. Anyway, my job has long been messed up by her. I felt a strong hatred behind me. After torturing me for so long, Why didn't she say her real thoughts? She is also someone who can hold back. But as I expected, she soon brought a bowl of black chicken soup to my home. At that time, I was about to clean up the remaining toxic family affection. She looked like she cared for her younger sister, and didn't care at all about what I did to her. Come, my good sister. This is specially cooked for you by your sister. It's very good for you. I ignored her. But my mom shouted, "Your sister cooked this for you. Don't be ungrateful." I made sarcastic remarks. Mind your own business. My sister couldn't wait to make me drink this bowl of soup and told me her heartfelt words. I have divorced your brother-in-law. But there is still a 30-day cooling-off period for divorce. I am really afraid that he will come back and do something to me. That's why I made such a fuss just now. Please forgive your sister. Okay? She said it so pitifully, as if she didn't mean it and was forced. As she wished. I drank it. I immediately fainted on the sofa. Nina. For your sister's happiness. I know you are willing. Your brother-in-law said that as long as he is with you, he will completely cut off the relationship with me. He loves you. I am also doing this for your good. I really give him up. I was really speechless listening to her nagging. Can't you move faster? Acting is also very tiring. As soon as she brought it out, I smelled a very strong aphrodisiac and sleeping pill. Her so-called perfect plan has long been known by me. After all, I have been monitoring them. She pulled me to a hotel. But at the moment I entered the door, I instantly knocked her unconscious with a hand chop. 7. I couldn't help but complain. So slow. Don't you know that villains die from talking too much? Next, I threw her on the bed and walked to the next room. Through the one-way mirror, I was ready to watch the big show. I don't know who will win in the end. I calculated the time and watched William, whose eyes were not right, push open the door. Through the one-way mirror, I watched him shout, "Be obsessed with, be infatuated with, be crazy about." Lie at my sister's back. Nina, you are finally mine. Do you know? I love women's buttocks all because I like you the most. Now, you are finally mine. I wanted to marry you back then, but you went to study. I could only marry your sister to satisfy my longing for you. Now, you are finally mine. As soon as he pounced on her, my sister immediately became sober. I took a sip of tea and suppressed my nausea. Thinking about myself in my previous life, still calling him brother-in-law one by one, I was really speechless. What a jerk. His brain is full of shit. My sister pushed William away suddenly. You. Why are you here? You are not Nina. You actually dare to deceive me. When William saw that it wasn't me, he became completely enraged. He grabbed my sister's neck and wouldn't let go. Bitch. Dared to deceive me. See if I don't kill you. I wasn't surprised at all by the scene in front of me. Before William came, according to my investigation, he took drugs to boost his energy. Coupled with the strong aphrodisiac smell in the room, he had lost his sanity. I sneered. Who will die in the end? I watched William lift up my sister. His eyes were completely red. He kept murmuring, "Die. Die for me." In the next second, my sister struggled to pick up the bottle on the bedside and smashed it hard. She directly made William keep retreating. And it was also because of this action that I saw William furiously take out a knife from his pocket. I laughed. If I were the one who came and I resisted, this knife would stab me to death, right? After all, according to his madness, he would only pull me, who was resisting, to die with him. I watched my sister constantly resist with her hands. Finally, when the knife was about to hurt her, she rolled to the side and took out the knife from her bosom in reverse and stabbed William to death. She wasn't panicked at all when she killed someone. I looked at him and stabbed William's body again and again. I have been reborn. How could I still trust you? As long as you die, I will be fine. Then, I watched her throw my clothes at the scene, wipe off the fingerprints on the knife, and print my fingerprints on it that she got from somewhere. After doing everything, she left in a hurry. What she didn't know was that all of this was under my surveillance. As I expected, her next step should be to find me. To my surprise, she could actually find my location. It seems that she is not really stupid. She didn't speak but stared at me intently, trying to see something on my face. Immediately after, she called my biological mother over. At this time, she knelt in front of me with a thud and cried so miserably. Sister, my good sister, I accidentally killed your brother-in-law. For the sake of your nephew, go and take the blame for me. I will definitely always remember your kindness. No. Can someone listen? What kind of nonsense is she talking? Can anyone understand this? Without hesitation, I kicked her away and sneered coldly. Why? Moral kidnapping? Your son has nothing to do with me. She seemed to have no shame, and continued to say. You said that you can do everything for me. Your sister. I still wanted to scold her. Suddenly, my mother rushed in front of me, and wanted to give me a loving slap. I grabbed her hand in reverse and gave her a loving shoulder throw. Mom! My sister shouted. Then, under their stunned gazes, I took a bottle of water and poured it on my hand that had just touched them. Oh! It's so dirty. My mother covered her lower back, and was so angry that her face turned red. You unfilial daughter. I should have strangled you the moment you were born. My sister also agreed. Sister, if you help me, I will make Mom calm down. I couldn't help but slap her again. Go to the mental hospital next door, and have a look. Okay? As soon as I finished speaking, her eyes were filled with resentment and viciousness. Mom couldn't bear to see her daughter being wronged. So she got angry at me. Your brother-in-law was killed by you. Go and turn yourself in. Your sister is pregnant with your nephew and can't endure any hardship. I increasingly felt that these two people were completely crazy. I looked down at them and my voice was even colder. Mom, are you so extremely partial? She killed someone and I take the blame. Do you think I am still that stupid, Nina? My sister suddenly stood up and grabbed me. All of this was done by you. Right? You are also reborn. Right? Tell me. Before she could finish speaking, I directly kicked her in the abdomen and made her stay away from me. So what? I stared at the faintly moving shadow in her stomach and laughed even louder. Mom, don't you really think there is a nephew? I tell you, her stomach is full of octopuses. After some time, she will become fond of eating meat. You. Be careful. I said sinister lie. Mom suddenly pushed my sister away with a thud. Just like this. I watched the octopus suddenly spit out from my sister's mouth. My sister's eyeballs were sunken and she murmured to herself. Impossible. I have a child. I have a child. Then she looked at my mother's terrified look and showed her teeth. Mom. I'm so hungry. Let me take a bite. Just one bite. Immediately after, I watched her take out the knife from her bosom and stab it into Mom's neck. Mona. Just like this. My mother was killed by her beloved daughter who she had spoiled for so many years. She opened her mouth and took a bite of the flesh on Mom's neck. It was bloody and really looked like a devil. So ugly. My sister turned her head and glared at me viciously. Nina. It's your turn next. I stared at her without fear. In my previous life, I regarded you as my sister. But you stabbed me to death. My sister looked indifferent. Sister? What sister? You are just the nanny of the family. I can kill you whenever I want. So, in the next second, she rushed in front of me. Her bloody fingers grabbed my sleeve. Killing you will end everything. I am the one with the heroine's halo. I looked at her with a fierce look in my eyes. I broke her finger and broke her bone hard. A sharp and miserable cry resounded through the entire room. I held a knife and approached my sister who was lying on the ground step by step. Smiling even more charmingly, the knife swayed and patted her face. You care a lot about your appearance. I held the knife a little tighter. Soon, there was blood on her face. You. What on earth do you want to do? My sister's voice trembled, and she kept retreating. Looking at her pleading look, I smiled even more happily. Why? Are you scared now? Don't worry. I won't kill you. I am a good citizen. I looked down at the time. There was still a while. In the next second, I dragged her into the toilet and grabbed her neck, making her face directly face the mirror. How do you like seeing yourself now? I asked considerately. In the mirror. Her hair was messy, especially on her chest. Octopus tentacles were constantly surging out. Her eyes were filled with fear, but her gaze at me was even more resentful. She still wouldn't give up and said, I will kill you. I will kill you. I didn't answer her. I silently pushed her head into the toilet, looking at her struggling. I felt extremely happy. At the moment she was about to lose her breath, I lifted her head up, looking at her head full of filth. I continued to push her head into the water. I slowly said in front of her, Do you remember? Before I died. This is what you did to me. Oh. Not only this time. When I was 6 years old. In order to show your charm as the eldest sister, you let your friends push my entire head into the toilet and I was almost suffocated. Oh. No. You may have forgotten this long ago because in your eyes, these things don't count. As I spoke, my eyes became even more red. It was because I was as stupid as a pig in my previous life that I was deceived by you saying this was a game, and still said with a smile that I wanted to play again. I was really as stupid as if my brain had been possessed. She laughed and pulled her lips. No matter what you do, you can't beat me. Because in my previous life, you died in my hands. You were trampled under my feet all your life. Do you think that just like this, you can beat me? Impossible. I wasn't angered by her words. What she said only made me feel that an ant was constantly struggling and asking for help. Pathetic and ridiculous. I threw her to the ground, wiped my hands clean. Don't worry. I will let you enjoy everything well. Next. I waved my hand and prepared to help her give birth to her octopus son. I placed a fluoroscope in front of her. Do you see clearly? This is what's in your stomach. It's constantly surging. They are eating your heart. Look. How cute. She kept shaking her head. This isn't it. Impossible. My chest is natural. So is my buttocks. You must be lying to me. She couldn't believe that her perfect figure actually came from these things. On the one hand, it was because the substances secreted by the octopus eggs would affect the judgment of the mother. On the other hand, it was because she couldn't admit in her heart that what I said was right. Putting the reality blatantly in front of her was like gouging out her heart. It made me even more happy. You will die a terrible death. She grabbed her hair and kept roaring. Suddenly, she broke the glass fragment and put the glass fragment on my neck. I want to die with you. At the same time, the police came. They all raised their guns and aimed at my sister. 9 looking at the scene full of blood and my mother lying in a pool of blood. Everyone became even more serious. I started to play the role of a white lotus. Quick! Save me! I'm so scared. My sister suddenly looked at me. It's you. It's a trap you set. I didn't respond. I just looked at the sniper hiding in the distance. The police kept persuading my sister to put down the glass. But my sister was already crazy now. Impossible. I want to pull her to die with me. Suddenly, I said, Sister, I was wrong. Put down your thing and everything can start over. In the next second, my sister paused when holding the blade, as if thinking about something. Immediately after, she realized and stared at me firmly. I want you to die with me. Just as she continued to cut down, I suddenly kicked her knee hard. She stepped back. The sniper shot, and she fell backward. At the same time, the things in her stomach suddenly burst open and came out one after another. It was simply a scene of dismosental. She died with her eyes open, looking at those reptiles crawling out of her body and slowly caroming her. Everyone present couldn't help but vomit. I then fell backward and fainted. After all, after experiencing such a terrifying scene, it wouldn't be reasonable for a weak woman not to faint. When I woke up again, I was already in the hospital. People from the procuratori routinely asked me some questions. I cried and told them everything that Mona and my deceased mother had done to me. And the criminal video of Mona killing William in self-defense was also obtained by the police. Mom is dead. Sister is dead. William is dead. My ex-boyfriend is crazy. And I am just a poor person. Who can know that all of this is a trap I set? Everything has ended. From this moment on, I am just me. Nina, who is free without any constraints. I left this city. I traveled everywhere and felt different sceneries. I became a small doctor in a fourth-tier city. I worked at sunrise and rested at sunset. Until later, someone came to me. Dr. Nina. Sister Juan accidentally injected octopus eggs. I started to look for the place of production of octopus eggs. It was a disgusting place. There were all rotting corpses covered with octopuses. And this factory was established by William. He obtained various amounts of money by relying on this. Even in order to breed octopus eggs and find a suitable mother body. He abducted many girls who wanted to find jobs. He killed them mercilessly. The police came and took care of everything. From then on, there is no such thing as octopus eggs anymore. Later, I always told those girls. A good figure is never achieved by these messy things. It's achieved by exercising well by yourself. Loving yourself is the best solution. Don't be like that brainless Nina and stupid me in my previous life. The end.